So next year, a Republican majority in the House takes over, and they will have to make spending cuts.
Right. There is no road left. You cannot kick the can any further. You've hit a wall. Our debt is going to go over $14 trillion this year in 11. Spending annual deficits now are $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion a year, as far as the eye can see. We are bankrupting the country, and we are jeopardizing our national security. The spending must be cut. And yes, there needs to be an honest, hard look at all of the entitlements in terms of how we fund them and what we spend. But before we get to that, let's go look at this general government and discretionary spending. Let's look at the billions that are wasted on subsidies to various corporations or subsidies to industries. Let's look at the multiple layers of social welfare income transfer that pile up on top of themselves. And let's look at a government that has become bloated, where there's no accountability like there would be in the private sector. So I think that if there's an honest look next year, there are whole agencies and departments that can be simply eliminated. And then, you know, we tend to look at a number of items and say, oh, they're small, that doesn't matter. But that's not true. They all add up. So no money should go to Corporation for Public Broadcasting because it is a biased left-wing outlet that doesn't need taxpayer money. We should cut all the endowments. They make no sense in this environment. The endowment for the arts, the endowment for the humanities, the endowment for Pez collectors. It doesn't matter. We have so many. They need to just face the fact that we have way outspent and that we cannot meet our obligations, and that it is time to retrench, just like business does, just like families do, and just, frankly, like other countries are doing now.
All right, thank you very much, Bill. Congressman Devin Nunes recently introduced a bill in the House of Representatives to make government pension programs more transparent. The bill is currently in the House Ways and Means Committee and is picking up co-sponsors. Americans for Limited Government spoke with Congressman Nunes about what this law would be.
The whole pension system, public employee pension system, is a house of cards. And elected officials at all levels of government, federal, state, local, need to know what's going on. And what this bill does is essentially says the feds aren't going to come in and bail you out. And two, we need you to be transparent so we know what's happening in these public employee pensions so we don't end up with more Bell Californias.
Nunes' bill provides enhanced transparency for state and local pensions and also establishes a halt to any future public pension bailouts by the federal government.
We don't know what's going on in these public employee pensions. Some people estimate that they're unfunded by $2 trillion. I've had folks tell me as high as $15 trillion. I mean, that's so large, it's really not even comprehensible to normal Americans.
The bill is set up in a way that would allow anyone, anywhere in America to see what's happening with public pension plans.
When you compare what the private company pensions are being asked to do to what we ask the public employee pensions to do, even this bill doesn't get close to that. All we're trying to do is get people to be transparent, put it up on the web at the Department of Treasury, and then that way you can not only compare the public employee pensions and look at your own public employee pension, what your local city or county is doing, but also compare that to other municipalities across your state or across your country.
This bill, the Public Employee Transparency Act, has received a number of endorsements, including one from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Here's ALG's Don Todd with a special Christmas treat. He's going to let someone in big government know that they're a bozo and a grave robber.
Congressman Tony Weiner of New York is of the opinion that a person's heirs has no more rights to his property than anybody else does. In other words, if you're born on a farm and you work that farm from the day you start to walk, and then your father dies, Tony Weiner has as much right to it as you do. The next thing you know, he's going to have government agents at the funeral home to pick the gold out of Grandma's teeth. Tony Weiner, big government bozo.
All right, thank you very much, Don. And that's all the time we have this week for the week ahead. Please join us again next time. For more on these and other topics, visit our webpage, getliberty.org.